Okay, let's dive into something really powerful today. We're going to explore a concept from the sacred writings of the Bahá'í Faith called divine assistance. It's all about how to tap into an incredible source of strength, especially for those moments when you feel like you've got nothing left in the tank.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're standing in front of this mountain of a problem, and you just feel completely powerless. It's that moment of doubt where you just think, how am I ever going to get through this on my own?
Well, this collection of texts tackles that feeling head on, and it offers a pretty compelling answer. The solution isn't to just try harder or ignore our own limits. It's about connecting with a power that goes way beyond them.
So let's get into our first section. This is all about a powerful promise that's offered for those exact moments, when we feel the most alone and overwhelmed. So check out this core message from Baha'u'llah. It's all about constant companionship and reinforcement. It's like a direct response to that feeling of being totally alone or too weak to go on. The promise is so simple but so huge. You are not alone, and you will be made strong.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. This introduces a really crucial condition. This divine aid isn't just something that falls from the sky on everybody. It's specifically promised to those who arise, the ones who actively get up and stand for something.
All right, so what does this aid actually look like? Well, it's not described as some vague, fuzzy feeling. The texts use this incredibly vivid, poetic language to paint a picture of a force that's tangible and just immensely powerful.
I mean, just look at these metaphors. We're talking about hosts, armies, battalions. This isn't a gentle nudge. This is portrayed as a mighty, active force, like a whole spiritual army showing up to support you. It's all about inspiration, spirit, and even angelic help.
And this quote just drives that point home. This help, it's not just about protection, it's also about enlightenment, receiving this chalice of pure light. That's all about getting clarity, wisdom, and this creative power that you didn't have a moment before.
And just so we're all on the same page, when these texts talk about the concourse on high, this is what they mean. It's this concept of a kind of spiritual super team, the souls of prophets and saints, all working together for humanity's good.
Okay, so this brings us to a really key theme here. This divine help is presented as a partnership. It's not a passive gift. It's something that requires a conscious choice and action from us. And the writings actually lay out some pretty clear steps. It all starts with that decision to arise. But then you've got to adopt this attitude of love, put on the armor of his love. Then you have to put your trust wholly in that higher power. And finally, you have to engage in service. It's a very active path. So what this all really points to is a radical shift in perspective. The advice is basically stop dwelling on your own limitations, because that's just going to lead to despair. Instead, you're supposed to forget yourself. Focus on the power of God's help, because when you do that, your own strength becomes tenfold. This quote just nails it. It perfectly sums up the whole idea. The key, the criterion, isn't how strong or smart you are. It's all about how willing you are to become a channel, to let a force that's bigger than you operate through you. It's about alignment, not just effort. So now we get to the promised outcome of this whole partnership. And we're not just talking about a little boost of confidence. The texts describe a transformation of the individual that is profound and, frankly, almost unbelievable. To make this point, the writings use historical figures to make it really relatable. Here, Abdu'l-Baha talks about Peter, who, according to church history, was so simple he couldn't even keep track of the days of the week. He's used as this perfect example of our own human limitations. But then, boom, they contrast that helplessness with this incredible promise. The argument is basically, if that guy could be transformed into the rock of his church, just imagine what kind of wonders can be achieved by even the most puny and insignificant person who taps into this power. And the metaphors they use to describe this are just stunning. An insignificant ant driving away an elephant, a feeble moth destroying a vulture, a gnat becoming a powerful eagle. This isn't about becoming a slightly better you. It's a complete reversal of weakness into strength.
And this brings us to the final and maybe most powerful theme that runs through all of this. It's not a theme of hope or even possibility. It's a theme of absolute, undeniable certainty about the outcome.
The language here is so clear. It doesn't say victory is possible or victory might come. It says it is assured. That's a firm, irrevocable promise to anyone who arises and acts. And then you see this phrase, the hour is overdue. Wow, that creates such a sense of urgency, right? It suggests the time for this transformation isn't off in some distant future. The time is now. The potential is here, just waiting.
And this reinforces that the power that's available, it isn't finite. It's not something you can use up. The source of strength is described as untapped and measureless. That means it's limitless. It's just waiting to be accessed. You know, after all the talk of divine armies and celestial power, it all comes back to this beautifully simple human idea. The guarantee of that ultimate and complete victory is tied to two things we can all do: try and then persevere. Just keep going. So, in the end, these writings don't just give us an answer, they leave us with this profound question to think about. What really happens when our own limited but sincere human effort connects with a source of power that is literally limitless? What could possibly be achieved then?